"Mother, please wake up and make me some bread. No one gives me food. I have been hungry for 2 days." The little boy was crying in anguish by his mother's grave. After hearing these words from the child, you won't be able to hold back your tears. Watch this heartbreaking, soul-stirring story till the end. I hope you will like this video. Friends, before we start the video, please make sure to like it. And if you are new to our channel, subscribe and click the bell icon. Thank you. Now, let's begin. Ali was just 6 years old at the time. That's when his mother found out that she only had a few days left in this world. Ali was still very young. He needed his mother a lot in his life, but he had no idea that she would only be with him for a few more days. It was no less painful for Ali's mother. When a mother learns that she is going to leave her child behind and depart from this world, think about how agonizing and painful each moment becomes for her. Nasira was exhausted from fighting her illness. The doctors had already given her the final diagnosis. Nasira's husband, Abid, had also returned from abroad. Little Ali was always by his mother's side because he had grown up seeing her. His father used to stay abroad. Due to Nasira's illness, she had no other children after Ali. That's why Ali was her whole world. Nasira was only worried about Ali during her final moments. She worried about whether Ali would get food. Even though she was extremely sick, she would feed her son with her own hands to ensure that he wouldn't stay hungry. She would cry, thinking about who would care for her child and make him bread after she was gone. When Ali saw his mother crying, he would wipe her tears with his little hands and say, "Mother, when you get better, make me my favorite food." Hearing this, Nasira would hold Ali close to her chest and sob, because she knew that she would only be able to feed him for a few more days. Nasira's husband, Abid, would comfort her, saying, "Maybe Allah will accept our prayers. Something miraculous will happen. Without a doubt, Allah can do anything. Life and death are in His hands. Don't be worried. Allah will definitely grant you good health." Poor Abid. What else could he do except try to console his wife? But Nasira's illness worsened. Her cancer had reached its final stage. It was already too late. It was impossible for her to survive. Despite this, her treatment and medication continued. Nasira's only pain was being separated from her child. One night, Nasira became very ill. When Abid returned home with Nasira's medicine, he saw her sitting in a chair, gasping for breath and staring intently at Ali, who was lying on her lap. Nasira's hand was resting on Ali's head. Abid sat beside her and tried to console her, but she kept caressing her child's head and tearfully said, "Promise me that after I die, you will take great care of my child. Don't let him feel the absence of his mother. He is used to being with me. Our child is still so young, and he needs me now more than ever. But can human decisions ever outweigh Allah's decree? After my death, before you take my body away, put Ali to sleep. My little boy. When I die, he will cry a lot, and my soul will suffer if he cries. How will I calm him down when I'm no longer here? Who will comfort my little boy then? So, before they take my body away, make sure Ali is asleep, so he won't follow me while crying. Never bring Ali to my grave. He will cry a lot if he comes to my grave, and I won't be able to hold him close. My soul will be tormented." Abid held Nasira's hand tightly and crying said, "Why are you saying such things today? Have faith in Allah. He will definitely do something miraculous." Hearing this, Nasira smiled and said, "Allah tests His servants. In these final moments of my life, I ask for your forgiveness." The last words Nasira uttered were, "Please take care of my Ali after my death." After that, the most difficult moment of Ali's life arrived. His loving mother left him and this world. Her soul had left her body. Little Ali lay with his head resting on his deceased mother's lap. The hand that had always comforted him was now lost forever. The hand that used to feed him would never feed him again. He would never find peace in his mother's embrace again. Ali's mother had left this world. When Ali woke up to the sound of his father's sobs, he looked at his mother and told his father to stop crying. He said, "Father, please stop. Mother hasn't slept for so long. Now she's sleeping peacefully. Let her rest. Your crying will wake her up." Hearing Ali's words, Abid started crying even louder. He hugged Ali tightly and said, "Yes, son, your mother is now resting in peace. Allah has granted her peace." Poor Ali. What did he know about the difference between life and death? He didn't realize that his mother would never return to him. His mother had truly gone to sleep forever. Ali stayed by his mother's side all night. He kept his little face close to her and stared at her, saying, "My mother is sleeping so peacefully." He kept asking the women around him who were crying to stay quiet, saying, "Let my mother sleep. She will wake up." Everyone's hearts were breaking upon hearing Ali's words. Finally, the hardest moment arrived when Ali had to be separated from his mother. As they were about to take Nasira's body away, Abid remembered Nasira's request to put Ali to sleep before taking her body away so that their son wouldn't become distressed. But Abid couldn't do it because Ali refused to leave his mother's side. He wouldn't move away from her for a single moment, staring at her without blinking. Maybe Allah had granted him the understanding to look at his mother one last time because he wouldn't be able to see her again. Abid had no choice but to take Ali with them to the cemetery along with Nasira's body. But when they placed Nasira in the grave, Ali cried out, "Don't lay my mother down here. Don't bury her under the ground. Father, take mother home. Let her sleep at home. If you make her sleep here, then I will stay here with her." No one could hold back their tears after hearing these innocent words from Ali. Abid had a very hard time calming Ali down. Ali screamed and cried a lot, perhaps realizing by then that his mother had truly left this world. Abid and Ali spent a long time sitting by Nasira's grave, crying. When the night grew darker, some of their relatives had to forcibly take them back home. Without his mother, Ali's home felt empty. Every moment he searched for his mother. He would run around the house saying, "Mother, where are you? Please come to me. I want to sleep. Hold me and put me to sleep." The little boy searched for his mother in every room. But how could she come back? She had already left this world. After Nasira's death, little Ali fell ill with a fever due to grief. He was often sick. It became very difficult for Abid to take care of Ali. That's why Abid brought his aunt to their home. But Abid's aunt was quite old herself. How much could she really care for Ali? One day, Abid's aunt said to him, "Son, you are still young. Ali is also young. You need a life partner, and Ali needs a good mother. You should get married again. I'm also getting old. How long can I stay here with you? I have my own family. I will have to return to my children. I don't have the strength to stay here forever." At first, Abid refused. He said, "I will take care of Ali on my own." But when his aunt kept insisting, Abid made the decision for Ali's sake to get married again. How long could Abid stay at home to care for Ali? He had to go out for work as well. And the biggest issue was that Abid worked abroad. Considering all this, Abid agreed to marry again. Abid's aunt, Sakina, arranged his marriage to a girl from their family. The wedding was a simple affair. Abid had already told his second wife, "I have remarried only for Ali. Love him like a mother. Don't let him feel the absence of his mother. You are now my wife. It is my responsibility to fulfill your every need, and likewise I am entrusting you with the responsibility of Ali." Abid's second wife's name was Zubaydah. At first, she loved and cared for Ali a lot. Abid was very pleased to see this. He thought he had placed his young son in trustworthy hands. So, Abid prepared to return to his job abroad. Abid left his son, Ali, in the care of his stepmother and went abroad to Kuwait for work. But with time, Zubaydah's behavior towards Ali changed. She began to think like a typical stepmother. She would scold Ali for every little thing and even started beating him. For small mistakes, Zubaydah would leave Ali hungry all day. She wouldn't give him any food. Poor Ali would even go to school hungry. When he returned from school, Ali would sit by his mother's grave for hours, crying and lamenting. He would say, "Mother, after you left, no one feeds me like you used to. No one gives me food. Mother, I am so hungry, please wake up and give me food. Give me bread. Mother, where have you gone?" The poor child was still very young, too small to comprehend the harsh reality. After sitting by his mother's grave and crying for a while, he would return home, but his stepmother would beat him for coming home late. Ali had become very quiet lately. He was always sad, and at night, he would cry, thinking about his mother. Every night, he would see his mother in his dreams. In the dream, he would talk to her and rest his head on her lap until he fell asleep. But when he woke up, he would find that his mother was nowhere to be seen. That's when his heart would break completely. Abid would come home every 3 to 4 months to see Ali. Abid had also started to notice that Ali was very quiet now. Even when they talked on the phone, Ali sounded sad. At first, Abid thought that perhaps Ali was feeling down because he had gone away for so long. One time, when Abid came home after 4 months, he saw Ali and realized that Ali had become very thin and quiet. Zubaydah, Ali's stepmother, was very clever and deceitful. When in front of Abid, she would treat Ali with love, showing affection toward him. She would even feed Ali with her own hands. Abid felt happy seeing this. However, despite everything, Abid was very concerned about how quiet Ali had become. One day, when Ali went with his father to visit his mother's grave, Abid asked him, "Son, tell me something. Who was better, your first mother or your current mother?" Hearing this, Ali stared at his father for a moment, and then pointed to his mother's grave and said, "Father, this mother used to tell lies. She always lied to me. My current mother tells the truth. She always tells the truth." Abid was astonished by Ali's words. He thought to himself, who could love their child more than their real mother? Curious, Abid asked, "What do you mean, son? What lies did your first mother tell you?" Ali replied, "This mother used to lie, because whenever I did something wrong, she would say, 'I won't give you any food.' But until I ate, she wouldn't rest. She would force me to eat even if I refused. If I didn't eat, my mother wouldn't eat all day either. Then she would feed me with her own hands and cry, saying, 'Ali, don't trouble me. It hurts me too when I scold you. Now please eat from my hand, will you?' So, didn't she lie, father? She would say she wouldn't give me food, but she always did. But my current mother tells the truth. Even when I don't do anything wrong, she says, 'I won't give you food,' and she always keeps her word. The whole day passes, but she never gives me any food. She tells the truth, doesn't she? That's why she always speaks the truth." Hearing these words from Ali, Abid was utterly shocked. His heart shattered upon hearing such words from his little child. Abid felt a deep sense of shame. He remembered the promise he had made to Nasira. Abid thought, "On the day of judgment, how will I face Ali's mother? I had promised her that I would take care of Ali." Abid's anger toward his second wife, Zubaydah, grew. When they returned home, Abid slapped Zubaydah hard across the face and said, "How could you treat such a young child so cruelly for so long? How will you face Allah for this? While I was away, you treated my child like this? And in front of me, you always pretended to love Ali. This child was your responsibility. Even though you are his stepmother, you were supposed to fulfill the duties of a mother. What kind of enmity did you show to my child? He is just a little boy. The pain of losing his mother still hasn't faded from his heart. Instead of comforting him and loving him, you tortured him. My child spends hours crying by his mother's grave. I found out about this from the cemetery guard. I trusted you with my child while I was away. But you are not fit to be a mother. That's why, after 2 years, Allah still hasn't blessed you with a child. Maybe that's why Allah has kept you childless. Hearing these words, Zubaydah began to cry. Perhaps that slap from Abid was a wake-up call from Allah for her. Crying, Zubaydah begged for forgiveness from Abid. She said, "I am so ashamed. I apologize to you and Ali. I don't know why I did such things. Please forgive me. Truly your words have opened my eyes. From now on, I will love Ali just like my own child." Abid didn't throw Zubaydah out of the house, but from that day forward he never trusted her again. He decided to take full responsibility for Ali himself from then on. He quit his job abroad and found a good job in the city so he could be with his son. Zubaydah was always filled with guilt and kept her head down in shame. She would constantly apologize to Abid for what she had done. But from that point on, Abid took full responsibility for his son. 20 years have passed since then. Ali is now married and he has 2 sons of his own. Even today, Ali visits his mother's grave, but now when he goes to his mother's grave, he no longer asks her for food. Instead, he prays for her and sprinkles flowers over her grave, as well as his father's, who rests beside her. Mothers and fathers are the greatest gifts from Allah. So those of you who still have your parents, always cherish and love them. Always strive to keep your parents happy so that Allah remains pleased with you. And for those whose parents have left this world, may Allah grant them the highest place in Jannat ul-Firdaus. Ameen.